Cool. Now let's give it just a little bit. Let's be able to jump on here real quick. Let's show you a little something. Oh, all right, live stream time, right? Right, so I want to show you guys this. Let's look at the chart. Dun, dun, dun. All right, guys, look at this beautiful move. If you look at my screen, you'll see the history of this trade right here that we're in. We got right here, this was the buy gap that we were planning to close up. We ended up getting in a sell right here. We closed partials out of that sell and protected the entry. We got knocked out. So that right there is where it knocked me out of the trade. And as soon as I saw that I got knocked out, I saw price come up and I was like, you know what? Looks like it might reject right there on that line. But Andy, how in the world would you know it was going to reject at this line and then slam back down? Because as you can see, this original entry right here is where I got into, right there. That's our sell. But Andy, how did you know to click sell right there? Well, because the dot told me so. See these little dots on here? You start connecting these dots and it tells you some really cool stuff. So if we connect a dot right there on that bottom dot, any dot to dot, from top to bottom, will give you zones of where price can reject. Look what happens when you connect these right here. You connect that one right there. You can even go down here, connect some. You can hit that one right there and look. When you connect this dot to this dot, look, price came up, did break it, then rejected down. You connect that dot right there, it's a clear break for a sell. The dots are going to give you some really cool things as you're trading. So when I put this dot on this dot, this was a break. It was a dot to dot break that we had. We also caught the dot to dot break like this at the top. If you remember, we had this zone up here. So as I'm just putting the dots together, I'm looking, I'm like, man, this market, it pushed up hard. But let's keep in mind that the news that came out, it's pretty bad news for the market. You know, they're saying that the Fed's, the interest rates, the hikes that they're looking at could be pretty significant. They're not looking at letting up anytime between now and December. Basically, told Wall Street and the American people, hold on. When you say hold on, that means hold on to what? Well, hold on to your finances, hold on to your pants, hold on to something because the sky's about to fall. And that's exactly what happened. It went up, tapped it, pushed only 38 pips out, and then fell from swing high to swing low, a total of 867 pips. So where are we at right now? I've got a buy down here a sell down here at the bottom. This was that sell that when I took, everyone's like, oh my God, Andy, you ever gonna get out of that sell? I was like, yes, I'll get out of that sell. No worries. Could close it now, but I just need a little bit other push right there and we'll be good on that trade. So I got these running on the sell and you can see here, partials have been closed. If you look at history, this is everything that's taken place today on this trade. So this was the original, 1.75 that I had up here that closed partials and then got knocked out on the stop loss at protection at break even, which that's why it's highlighted red. This is the new entry that I took right here. And obviously it's, sitting pretty fat, went ahead and closed out partials on it. And now I have the rest of that running. So what I'm looking at, when we look at this, I want to see this setup right here play out. As I said the other day, we need to get back into this level right here, 31,175, and then we could play somewhere in between these levels down here. Now, I don't always get what I wish for. That's a solid push. That'd be another 1,500 pip push. I don't know if we can pull that out, but what we can pull out is this nice little move that we took here. So we got the gap fill, played the gap fill here. We played the sell from here to here. It's a 432 pip move. Got knocked out at break it even. Pulled the sell from here to here, which is a 743 pip move. So this week is looking pretty solid. But just wanted to get on here to show you guys. We talked about this last night in the dot class. This exact same setup right here in the dot class is what we were talking about for rejections hitting. And it turned out to be beautiful. And obviously, that would have been TP1 right there, that first swing low. And TP2 falls on the second one right there. And then TP3 falls right there. The gray box obviously is the ultimate retracement of where I'd like to go. But like I said, you don't always get what you wish for. So you kind of just have to take it in stride and hope that it plays out how you want it to. Price is still falling, so that's a good thing. I mean, you can see it right there. We'll stay on here, I guess, till I'll play it out till 4 o'clock. See what we can get. May get a nice little push. Who knows? Says Dow's nearly down 400 points in the final session. You don't think? Dun, dun, dun. There it is. There's what I was talking about. Let's see if we can just get out of this trade in general. Because we got protection up here, so we don't want to risk it. Oh, there we go. Come on. Give me that 1K push one more time. Boom. All right, so now, finally out of that mess. So for all you guys that are watching Trading Nut, they were like, Andy, will you get out of that trade? Yeah, I'll get out of that trade. Which I could have got out of anyway if I'd have, since I already closed out in partials, you know, I'd have gotten out of it. But let's look at history. Yep, that trade was part of last week, so it'll show up in just a second. We are good to go. I love it. Beautiful. Not a bad trade. It's currently sitting now at 830 pips. I'll take that all day. Let's see here. I was looking at something on my phone. I know what it was right here. And watch this thing till 4 o'clock for a second and see what's going on. I'm just checking some messages right now. My phone's been going nuts ever since that drop. People have been hitting me up. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh yeah, she's still pushing down. I like that. What's up, Lennon?
I just want to tell you, do you hear the dogs barking?
Yeah.
We can't let them chill down.
It's okay.
Lenny, she's making them get all crazy. She's just like taking Watson, put us in the cage, taking Watson and letting him jump on the chin and jump off. So, I was just telling you.
You're okay, babe. She's looking pretty. Charts are looking good. Beautiful. So let's read the questions. Thank you, RP. Do you close out partials? So I close out the partials because I want to put money in the bank. There's too many traders that just get into a trade and they want to hold it for the entire time and then it comes back and knocks them out. So like this trade here, you know, if I would have held this sell the whole entire time, as soon as news hit, it would have knocked me out. And obviously it didn't knock me out. You know, I mean, it knocked me out obviously at break even, but I mean, it didn't knock out the whole entire trade because I'd put partials in the bank. So the same happened here. As we're selling down, you know, I took a partial right here. There's no reason not to. You know, I want to take this on a partial trade. That way I can get, you know, out, store some profit and not worry about being knocked out. So it makes life easy that way. clean it up just a bit. Gotta fix my grid. Why is my grid light gray? Should be none. There we go. Much better, much better. Let's see what happens at that 4 o'clock. See if anything fun happens there. Let's see here. Let's see here. Entered the sell at 32.951, 100 pip stop loss. Man, stopped out, then completely fell. I'm getting the hang though. Risk didn't lose much, and that's all that matters as long as you're not losing. M5 entry on this one was well after the trend line break. I did. So, I mean, the sell was a no-brainer. It was, you know, we looked at these dots and stuff we were talking about last night, and when I saw price, you know, you're going to get a breakdown. You know, I mean, obviously at some point, because we're selling. I mean, the market is selling, obviously. But for me, you know, I knew that we were going to have that push up. That's what I was talking about this morning when I was online with Andrew, was the market's going to push up. Because anytime they push up, they're going to take it the other direction. So people were already in buys down here. And we saw it this morning where price was just trickling, you know, up and up and up and up and up, and then came down, which I don't know why I just lost connection. That's weird. Unless my internet at the house just went out, which happens a lot here now that they're working on some stuff. I got internet here because I'm still streaming. Hopefully. So we'll see what happens. But anyhow, we can go over this real quick. So all I was looking at was one, I wanted to find a good dot-to-dot entry. Okay? So dot-to-dot entry for the sells. We did this last night on the dot class. So when you look at this dot-to-dot right here, we can carry this over because we know it's a valid trend line. So when we carry this on over to today's price, and we drop it just like this right here, we could see, bam, right there. So when I saw price break this trend line last night, and this is what we're talking about on the dot class, when it broke and we never pushed back up, it just kind of consolidated, and then it fell. And then as it's falling a little bit more, you know, right here, I'm like, man, this just like, the New York Open should push this down unless they're waiting for the news to push it down. So what happens? They push it up and everyone's in buys right here. So, I mean, we had people on Zooms this morning, people on Telegrams, Discords, everything were taking the buys, which was a solid buy setup. If you closed, which you should have, because these represent, these dots are your TPs, okay? So that dot is your TP for your buy. So for everyone that was in buys, that's your TP, right? Look what happened. When you guys were getting those buys and it pushed up, your TP was a 474 pip TP. That's freaking massive, okay? Like, that's massive. And look, it only went past that TP 66 pips. That's it. Past that TP at 66 pips, that's where it stopped. So what's the TP mean? Go back and watch the dot videos for anyone that watched it. When you hit a TP and you close out, what's that mean? Reversal. But Andy, I need some confluence of events. Beautiful. I'm glad you said that. Because now, not only do we have that, we have this dot right there. So when I zoom in on that, look what I have. Not only did we hit TP for the buys, we rejected on the trend line where the dot is. And that's where I took my sell. Right there. Which obviously is 796 pips of profit. Your risk on this trade was 10 pips above that swing high. So the risk that I was risking for this trade, if we grab this and pull it up, which I know what happened. Hold on one second, guys. I know exactly what happened. Bear with me one second. I had someone trying to hack my accounts earlier. And I changed my, I was like, why did I close it? Because Andy, you're an idiot. I changed my password. There we go. Now we're back up and running. Beautiful. I literally changed my password while I was on this live over here, and now I'm wondering why I'm losing connection. Man, I need help sometimes. All right, so that was the reason for that setup. It was, you could not have asked for a better setup, but for this trade right here, all I was risking, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. So 10 pips from there puts me at 25. The risk for this trade was $12,815, okay? Currently, this trade is at $83,000 worth of profit, and I've closed out the partials of it, which is 37. So 37 plus that is, it makes it over $100,000 trade, risking 12K. That's it. I'm telling you guys, when people start paying attention to the dots, learning the dots, and making trading so simple that you don't even have to think about it, these are the results that can happen. So imagine if you were doing this with, just say you had a $10,000 account. Let's have some fun, okay? With a $10,000 account, chances are you got in the buys this morning because you were watching Andrew, and Andrew's a freaking beast, okay, guys? Like, the dude's a beast. And you know what I like about Andrew? Not only the fact that he's a beast, he has a paper trail. So when I say paper trail, Andy, what's a paper trail? A paper trail means that he's telling you about the things he's done in his past life and has something to back it up. He's saying, I had this business, I did this, I built this, here I am, here's money maybe I made in crypto, here's everything I've done. Here's my paper trail. He can hand it to you. You guys may have saw my long tangent that I had on Instagram about paper trails, where it's like, you know, I used to race dirt bikes. You know, here's all my trophies. Here's pictures of me doing it. You know, I've had 90 plus cars. Here's all the pictures of my cars, and I'm showing the pictures of it. I was in bodybuilding. I worked with people in the NPC and the IFBB. Here's that. Here's the supplement companies I used. So I'm going down this tangent of paper trails. Andrew has a paper trail, so he's a beast. So shout out to you, bro. But with this trade right here, you see TP hit. So if you're in this, the moment you're in those buys, you're up right now 476 pips, give or take. You close the trade. You're done. TP's hit. There's no more dots above this zone, okay? No more dots. Why? Well, because we're pushing upwards. All right, so now at this point, you're like, all right, Andy, let's say you entered this at $5 a pip this morning. At 400, let's say 420 pips. It's a good number. All right, that's $2,100 on this trade, okay? So you know news is coming out. And let's say you want to catch the trade of your day and you want to risk $2,100, which is your equity. Why not? All right, you know this is your TP. Price pulls up. You're going to click sell somewhere in this area right here, right? You see a rejection, you see your TP. So let's say you're going to click sell right here. That means you're risking 93 pips. 2,100 divided by 93 pips. This means you can enter this trade at $22 a pip. If you enter this trade right here at $22 a pip, you are currently setting at 907 pips. This trade just made you $20,000 risking $2,100. Like, if this isn't the easiest way to trade and the easiest way to come up with risk, I don't know what is. Well, Andy, does it always work out that way? We had this markup on the dot class last night. We had this markup this morning when I was talking with Andrew. We had the same markup at the beginning of this week when I said, this is the zones I want to push down to. All because of dots. Guys, I'm not a good, like, I'll be honest with you. When I have to sit down and analyze trade setups and do all this stuff and have to think about it, I can talk myself out of a trade. The fact that I have the dots right here on the chart, all I have to do is connect them and just do what they tell me to do. If price breaks it, I'm taking a buy. If price falls after a TP, I'm taking a sell. That's it. Go back to some questions over here. Oh, well, there's not many questions, so that's even better, right? Guys, that's it. That's all I got. That simple. And it's past 4 o'clock. We've watched it do its thing. And now we're here. So guys, with that being said, I hope everyone has an amazing day. I'm sure we'll be on later tonight or tomorrow morning or some sort. You know, as market changes and things go crazy, we'll do it. I actually have a call I've got to get on with my buddy Tom. So that's all I got. So guys, I wish you all the best. Hopefully everyone's slaughtered and murdered in the market today. If you're part of the private Discord, obviously you saw this move happen pretty easily because you're probably using the dots. If you're part of the dots class, you probably saw this rejection push up. So it's an amazing day. You're like, hey Andy, the 30-minute dots, proper fresh supply demand zones where you can simply take the rejection no matter the time. Yeah, I mean, it's not always going to reject. I mean, if this 30 right here hits this trend line and pushes up, and then all of a sudden you get a candle that jumps up here and tests this trend line and goes that way, it's buying up. There's no rejection there, it's buying up. But even if you click sell right here, you're only losing 95 to 100 pips, which is absolutely nothing, especially when you're trading news, knowing what's going to take shape. Absolutely not. I've already closed partials. I've closed partials. I'm leaving this thing running. My forecast on, where I want it to go. This was TP1. We blew through TP1. TP1 currently is blown 349 pips down. Okay. So for me, my next TP is 31,869. Just for fun, let's make it an even number. Let's do 31,870. 31,870. So I mean, that's the next zone I want to go to is 31,870. And if it goes here, amazing. If it doesn't go here, it's going to knock me out. But guess what? I'm protected. I'm protected. I've already closed partials, so it can't do any more damage to me. And then when it hits this TP down here, since my active position is a standard, I'll close half. So I'll close half a standard here, and then I'll be looking for that push down there. And then I'll close a 0.25. And then if it gets to the gray zone, I'll close the whole entire trade. So that's it. But guys, y'all have an amazing day. I got to jump off here and get